The Consumer Price Index measures the changes in the price of a fixed basket of goods and services that households in Ghana consume. The said basket, which contains food and non-food items, helps in appreciating the average price levels in the country. For the third consecutive time, inflation has seen a drop. The rate for March 2023 was 45%, a reduction from the 52.8% recorded in February of the same year. Speaking at a press conference, the government statistician, Professor Samuel Enim, highlighted the impact that food inflation had on the drop in the overall inflation for the month of March 2023.
Highlight of March 2023 rates of inflation. Rate of inflation for the month of March 2023 stood at 45.0% for March 2023. This indicates a 7.8 percentage point drop relative to the rate that was recorded in the month of February 2023. In February 2023, we recorded a rate of 52.8, and in January 2023, 53.6. So we are seeing a sharper decline in the rate of inflation between February 2023 and March 2023, with a 7.8 percentage point drop between these two time periods. From a regional perspective, we identified the Western North recording the highest rate of inflation of 67.3%, and the Volta region recording the least rate of inflation of 25.6%. Disaggregating the national rate of inflation from a food and non-food perspective, we recorded food inflation 50.8% and non-food inflation 40.6%, indicating a 10.2 percentage point difference between food and non-food inflation. Food inflation saw a much sharper drop as it recorded 59.1% for the month of February 2023, indicating an 8.3 percentage point difference from a food inflation perspective and a 7.3 percentage point difference from a non-food perspective.
Professor Samuel Enim also said that both petrol and diesel have not been on the list of the first 20 drivers of the country's inflation in the last 5 months.
Washing soap, which is also an imported non-food item, recording a year-on-year upward change of 101.6%. On a month-on-month basis, washing soap, which is an imported non-food item, recorded the highest rate of change of 9.3%. So although nationally we saw a deflation of 1.3%, there were some specific items, including washing soap, that saw inflation of 9.3%. We also saw goat meat seeing an upward change of 1.9%, ice cream and granules also seeing upward changes on a month-on-month basis. For the first time in several months, we did not see petrol and diesel appearing in the list of the top 20 items that have seen price changes. Indeed, the last time we saw diesel not appearing in the top 20 items was in September last year, and we saw petrol coming in somewhere in October. So for about 5 months and 8 months, respectively, from a petrol and diesel perspective, for the first time in several months, we're not seeing these two items that have dominated the top 2 items as commodities items that have seen the highest price changes in the last 5 and 8 months, respectively.
Meanwhile, economist and currency analyst at GBC Capital Limited, Courage Boti, believes the inflation could sharply decline further to about 28% before the year ends.
Yes, I expected a decline, but maybe much lower than we've seen. I was expecting the sharp decreases to start from April based on my simulation here and there. But otherwise, it's not a surprise. Third consecutive month of decline. We have seen the worst of inflation. We can now say 54.1 in December was actually the peak of inflation. And at this pace, with this momentum, you can expect sharper increases going forward, driven largely by a favorable base drift and then current developments where you've seen over the last few pricing windows, fuel prices decline at the pumps. You've seen also the exchange rate, even if still volatile, have shown a trend of some resilience. And so I guess we are in that period now where you can expect that inflation will go down like the way it went up, where you would see sharp declines in the next few months until it evens out. And the expectation is that we could be ending the year around 29% levels if everything holds constant.